Hey everybody, before starting this week's episode, we wanted to stop and talk a little bit about the sponsor of our episodes, and that is Expedition Roasters, the artisanal roasters of pop culture inspired coffees.
You know, in these stressful times where we can't go to the parks and experience all of our favorite things and get those wonderful smells, it's nice to have a bit of that with us here at home, and you can definitely have that with Expedition Roasters.
Yeah, and there's a myriad of flavors that you could choose from depending on kind of what you want to reminisce about in a certain way. I mean, you could easily choose Route 66 Tire Fix, which is their morning blend coffee, which, you know, obviously is reminiscent of Cars.
Yes.
So imagine walking into Cars Land, the asphalt fresh with the water that is evaporating after they cleaned off the entire area, fresh in the morning. You just walked in the gates, something like that. Or you could do Fortune and Glory, which is their Indiana Jones inspired coffee, which is bourbon streusel.
That's so good.
So,
but my favorite is Happily Ever After.
Yes, your favorite is Happily Ever After, and I have to say that one of my favorites is the Wonderland Coffee Crumb Cake.
That's
good.
And
for all you coffee drinkers out there, it is such a well-balanced mix of flavor and the actual coffee flavor.
And the bags are super pretty.
Yeah, the artwork on the bags are pretty incredible, and you could actually buy the art on the website itself, too.
Yeah.
From the actual bags.
Which you should, because it's so cool.
Yes. So if you find yourself needing a little bit of a pick-me-up, but you want to reminisce a little bit about the parks, I would highly suggest checking out Expedition Roasters, heading over to expeditionroasters.com and purchasing some coffee from them. You could definitely use our coupon code for your first time purchasing coffee, which is a Duo15 at checkout. And remember, brew your happy place. Expedition Roasters, an adventure in every bag.
Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Hello and welcome everybody to another phenomenal episode of the Theme Park Duo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Gabe.
And I'm your other host, Nikki.
And we are
the Theme Park Duo.
We have a fun episode for you today. We are not done with the spooky yet. It will never be over. We are never going to let it go. For the rest of this season and next season is all spooky themed episodes.
What? Every single one?
Yeah.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, like one of them is about Superstar Limo and the other one is about Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. So to me, those are scary. So
okay.
I consider them scary.
Okay, but that's also lies because we aren't doing full episodes on those things.
That is true. Okay. So it's also scary that I'm lying and that the show is unpredictable.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know what we're going to do.
Tune in 2 weeks and see what happens then. We don't even know.
Yeah, usually. Little insight into the show. We usually decide a week before, and then we procrastinate.
Yes.
So that's a little bit of behind the scenes action for you there. But yes, I'm not lying at all. It is the truth. We are doing a spooky episode today. We are doing the top 5 scariest Disney attractions. Now, Disney isn't usually a word or a name or a company that you would associate with things that are scary.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, and it might be hard to think of some, but that's why we found them for you.
Yes, and actually, I'm almost certain that a majority of the listeners right now are like, oh, well, I could probably name 10 off of the top of my head for you.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple stipulations that really went into our decision making, and yes, you probably can guess probably the 4 out of the, maybe 3 out of the 5 that we have.
Yeah.
But 2 of them, I think, are interesting choices that I don't think many people know about, especially our number 1.
Yeah, definitely.
But, our stipulations for this were...
thrilling doesn't count.
Thrilling doesn't count.
Yeah.
So, like, a ride like Tower of Terror doesn't count. Because although, yes, the theming is spooky and scary, you have the weenie where you actually see the drop happening. So, throughout the entire experience... the spooky and scary is all tied into the idea that I know I have a big drop coming up. So that it all kind of ties into that. It isn't just thematically driven scary. Yes?
I know weenie is a technical term.
Yes.
But please explain it for some audience members who are still caught up on the fact that Gabe just said weenie about 10 seconds ago. And also, could you try not to say it 1,000 times this episode?
It's going to be really hard for me to do because now I really want to say weenie in every sentence and just find some reason to say weenie for any godforsaken reason.
At least
because
explain
every
it.
time I say weenie, you're just going to cringe. So anytime the word weenie comes out of my mouth, you're just going to be, in your seat just moving around, and you're going to be like, please don't say weenie again, please don't say weenie again. And I'm going to be like, weenie.
Okay, fine. Say it as many times as you want, but just explain it.
Just for a very, very quick explanation, yes, a weenie is basically just a something that draws guests in to like a location, like a visual eye candy thing that kind of gets guests to come towards a place. That's really all it is.
Okay.
So a lot of the time when Walt would be talking about things, Walt would say like, that is the weenie of this. That's what gets guests to come over here to ride this attraction or to see the show or to go into the store, whatever it may be. The term kind of got used a lot after Walt used it, and it's still used to this day. Not necessarily the amount of times that I used it today, but it is used.
Mm-hmm. So weenie means visual eye candy. just repeating what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to see my visual eye candy?
No, stop it. I'm 5
Anyway.
years old, guys. I can't.
We're
I
both five.
can't.
We're
I
both 5
can't.
years old. That's fine. It's all good. But anyway, yes. So those are the stipulations of this. It can't be a thrilling attraction that makes it scary. So yes, sometimes a roller coaster can be scary,
Yeah.
but that's because of its thrill factor, not because of its theming. So we were trying really hard to choose rides and attractions that weren't that.
Yeah.
So that kind of nixes a lot of different things like Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, or what's another one? Expedition Everest.
Yeah.
Because Expedition Everest, although I was really struggling with this one, although really well themed in building towards the visual of the Yeti during the attraction, it does have that big weenie on the outside where the track is actually coming outside of the mountain. You see that drop.
Yeah.
So people are expecting that to happen. But what I do love about that attraction, the side tangent here, is the fact that when you're actually building up to the moment where you see the broken track, there's like music that is kind of being developed to kind of create a sense of tension, which I think is great. Same thing with Tower of Terror. It's all the same thing. Just not necessarily what we're looking for in this sense of scary.
We're talking like nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel, things you don't expect.
Not even necessarily like the. Not that it was even necessarily the purpose of it being a scary ride, but it just happened. Like they made this thing, but oh crap, that part was really scary.
Really scary.
Yeah, or like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where the entire movie isn't scary whatsoever, maybe large Marge is, but then the nightmare scene with the clowns tearing apart his bike is absolutely nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that,
Yeah.
too, that kind of play a big part into this. But before we jump into the main topic of today's episode, we have some news to cover in the Theme Park Bulletin.
Okay, so our first piece of news is something I am very excited about.
Is it holiday related?
Yes. No.
Sorry,
Gabe.
my immediate reaction is just to immediately throw up. It's kind of like I'm coming off of drugs.
Oh, come on.
I'm
You
going into rehab.
cried in Ghost Town during Merry Farm when the snow fell.
That's because Erin was on my shoulders and she was reaching for the snow. Leave me alone.
You know what? You have a soft spot in your cold, dead
I'm
Halloween heart.
just saying, coming out of October, it's like I'm going into rehab where I have to wean my body off of the scary and the spooky.
That's what November's for.
Yeah,
that's why my
and
holiday.
it's all starting.
That's
and
why,
now I have to wean
Gabe,
myself off, and this holiday stuff is really ruining my detoxification process.
That's why my holiday heart doesn't insist on decorating for Christmas.
Holiday heart?
Mid-November. I am one of those people. My Christmas decorations would be up right now. If
God,
it could.
really?
Yes.
Did we talk about this when we dated?
No, I didn't have my own house to decorate when we started dating, did I, Gabe?
Oh, so you turned into this horrible person, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yes. So I am very excited about the first event this year that I feel comfortable taking our 2-year-old to.
Yes, actually.
I am so thrilled because Six Flags Magic Mountain.
You almost said the wrong park.
I almost said the wrong park. Six Flags Magic Mountain just announced that they are having Holiday in the Park Drive-Thru Experience.
You blew my eardrums out.
Drive-Thru Experience. Which, besides everything else, is like, cool, you get to drive through a theme park.
No, yeah. Like, I never knew I wanted to do this so bad until I read it.
Right? Okay, so I'm going to read the official book.
It's like driving into the back lot. Like at Universal, you know?
Yeah.
I never knew I wanted to do it until I got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for the first time ever, Six Flags Magic Mountain, the thrill capital of the world, will showcase a drive-through holiday spectacular featuring millions of dazzling lights, festive holiday theming, and seasonal music favorites in an innovative, one-of-a-kind nighttime event for the whole family. While the thrill of the park's iconic roller coasters will have to wait, this unique holiday experience will delight revelers of all ages, offering an exciting and fun way to celebrate the spirit of the season from the comfort and safety of your own cars. We are delighted to be reopening our park to safely celebrate the holidays with the unprecedented and magical event, said Six Flags Magic Mountain President Don McCoy. We have successfully transformed the traditional operation of our beloved Holiday in the Park into a new drive-through experience that is sure to delight guests and team members alike. We are proud and honored to help our guests create special holiday memories and to provide a feeling of hope and a small reprieve during this very difficult year.
As one of the largest holiday drive-thru events in Southern California, and the only one inside a theme park, the Holiday in the Park drive-thru experience will include 8 immersive, distinctly different areas throughout the 125-acre theme park, which will be filled with an exquisite palette of colorful twinkling lights choreographed to festive music. Guests will enjoy distance greetings from beloved holiday characters all decked out for the holidays, popular iconic holiday decorations, a drive-by featuring Santa and Mrs. Claus and their helpful elves, and much more. This also includes Rockin' Universe in the DC Universe featuring dancing lights customized to contemporary holiday music favorites in one of the largest light displays of its kind in Southern California. Mary Lane, located in Metropolis, including magnificent, larger-than-life, 30-foot brilliant lit ornaments with thousands of twinkling lights synchronized to holiday music. The Underground, a newly added section of the park this year, will feature several rarely seen show cars from the world-famous West Coast Customs vast collection, a unique setting decked out for the season. Well, this is the area that's by West Coast Racers.
Yes.
So, yeah. Winter Wonderland is the site of beautifully adorned pine trees with red and white lights at Katie's Kettle, or Caddy's Kettle. Is it Katie's Kettle or Caddy's Kettle?
I always say Katie's Kettle.
I say Katie's Kettle too. Continuing with fanciful ice sculptures and tree-filled white lights simulating winter-like conditions along the hilly path towards Viper, which this area on a cold night is actually very believable.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very believable. Holiday Square is a kaleidoscope of breathtaking color featuring falling snow and hundreds of thousands of lights on trees and buildings throughout the main gate area. Snowy Nights will delight guests with its high-energy vibe and contemporary tunes while marveling at the magnificent silver and blue decor of the area. North Pole Plaza, located in front of Golden Bear Theater, is where Mr. and Mrs. Claus and her merry, mischievous, and bumbling elves will entertain guests from afar. And Gleam Punk District is the largest area of the park, or of the event, and is a journey back in time to the sights and sounds of the 19th century Industrial Revolution, featuring thousands of lights illuminating the tree-lined streets and the steampunk-inspired mechanical sculptures amid the light-blanketed planters. Santa will bid guests a joyous holiday farewell from the safety of his magnificent oversized sleigh in the conclusion of the Holiday in the Park drive-thru experience.
The Holiday in the Park drive-thru experience will debut November 20th and run daily through November 29th, Thanksgiving week, Friday through Sunday the following 2 weeks, and daily December 18th through January 3rd, 2021. Beginning at 6 p.m. each night, to control and manage capacity, limited reservations will be available each night and will be required by all guests in advance using Six Flags' new online reservation system. Admission tickets for this first ever event will be available on a first-come, first-served basis and will be sold per person for each night, with a minimum of 2 individuals per vehicle required. Admission is free with active memberships and season passes, but reservations will be required. Ticket sales will not be available at the gate. For more information on Six Flags Magic Mountain's Holiday in the Park drive-thru, visit our website at www.sixflags.com/magicmountain.
So the event sounds just like Holiday in the Park, except
In
you're
your
in
car.
your car. Like, literally nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Like, every single section is the same. I guarantee you, when you go through the Gleam Punk District, you're going to see that dude who's on stilts who looks like he's from the Tim Burton Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's all going to be the same, which, I'm not mad about because I
Except-
actually
yeah.
really enjoy Holiday in the Park.
Mm-hmm. Except this year, just bring your own hot cocoa.
Yes, but you actually, when you go onto the website to actually buy your tickets, you can actually buy snack packs and things like that too.
What?
So you can buy food that you're having in your car.
Gabe.
You see, this is the one time that I'm going to let you have snacks during an experience because
Oh my gosh.
nobody's coming up to our window trying to scare the living shit out of us.
You didn't let me have snacks through any of the Halloween stuff.
Do you mean the one thing you did that you potentially could have choked to death on because you were eating something while getting scared?
I don't care. I finally get snacks.
Hey, you're alive now. Just saying.
Okay.
Potentially because of me.
No.
Just saying.
No. If anything, I'm alive despite of you.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm thoroughly confused.
So am I.
No, but I'm actually genuinely excited about this. We already have our tickets scheduled for this event, so I'm really, really jazzed about being able to take Erin and go through these experiences. Don't know how much she's gonna be able to be like, oh, that's cool, but I'm gonna think it's cool.
Fine. I think we should turn her car seat around so it's facing forward.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, because otherwise she won't be able to see anything.
Yeah, she's gonna see like lights going past her. She's not gonna
Yeah.
see the things coming up to her.
Yeah.
So, but no, the event as a whole sounds really, really cool. And like we had said before, the coolest part is the fact that you actually get to drive your car onto property,
Yes.
onto the Six Flags property, which is something that nobody's ever done outside of, maintenance crews and stuff like that at the park.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really jazzed about being able to drive my car onto property.
Super
Like,
excited.
Like ridiculously excited. Probably more excited than I should be,
yeah.
admittedly.
No, I thought that was super cool. Like when I saw it, I was like, I got giddy. I was so excited.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not the only part that has some holiday stuff going on as well. Knott's Berry Farm recently announced their Knott's Taste of Merry Farm,
Yum.
which, obviously the name for that is very obvious.
Yes.
We were calling it that before it was officially named that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that the previous one was called Taste of Scary Farm, but it wasn't. It was Taste of Halloween, which
Yeah.
is fine. I get it.
More
I understand it. I'm still mad.
kid-oriented.
I haven't let it
know.
go. But off the heels of Knott's successful new taste experiences, Knott's Berry Farm is excited to announce a new seasonal food and retail event, this time celebrating the merriest season of all with Knott's Taste of Merry Farm. While the theme park remains closed, Christmas spirit still shines bright this year with holiday charm brimming out of every corner of the park as Knott's wondrously transforms with enchanted decor, thousands of twinkling lights, miles of festive garland, and a variety of picturesque holiday settings, all serving as a backdrop to the tastiest holiday foods around. With over 60 unique food and drink items offered on the tasting card, guests can choose from popular favorites of all the season, like fluffy loaded turkey dinner tater tots and Comet's cinnamon buns with I don't want Comet's cinnamon buns.
No, thank you.
With a maple glazed and candied pecans, plus options for all dietary preferences. Guests can take care of their holiday shopping at Knott's one-of-a-kind stores filled with exclusive Knott's specialty items, or discover rare, handmade, and personalized gifts from over 23 artisan local crafters, including Knott's famous glass blower and chainsaw carver.
Oh, the carver's gonna be there.
Yeah, told you.
Yeah.
I told you that.
I want now.
Of course. Knott's Taste of Merry Farm will take place on select dates beginning November 20th through January 3rd. All Knott's Taste of Merry Farm activities will be conducted at a safe and socially distanced space for families to enjoy. The only way to experience the limited time Knott's Taste of Merry Farm is with a tasting card purchased in advance at knotts.com. The tasting card is required for event entry. Scheduled dates are November 20th through the 29th, December 4th through the 6th, December 11th through the 13th, December 18th through the 24th, December 26th through the 30th, and January 1st through the 3rd. Adult tasting cards, which is ages 12 and up, are priced at $40 plus tax and will include 5 food tastings, and junior tasting cards, ages 3 to 11, including 3 food tastings, are $20 plus tax. Tasting cards are date specific and must be purchased online at Knotts.com and through the Knott's Berry Farm mobile app prior to the date's visit. Knott's Taste of Merry Farm hotel packages are also available at Knotts.com. In order to manage proper physical distancing of guests at Knott's Taste of Merry Farm, tasting cards will be limited each day and may sell out. They will 100% sell out.
I think some days already are.
Yeah, some days are actually sold out, which I actually looked at the list of dates. I would say half the dates, maybe a little bit less, are sold out already. So it's really that mid dates that are sold out. The later dates aren't really sold out.
Not yet, yeah.
So, but I mean, like, if Knott's continues to amp up their taste events that they have in the past, then I'm really, really excited for this, because it really does feel like each and every single event that they've done, they've taken the information that they've gotten and improved where they needed to improve. Yeah. And fixed things where they needed to fix things. And one thing I did look up, because I know that one of the bigger issues that we had with Halloween was the fact that you could leave the park and come back. It's the same thing here. You can leave the park and come back. Okay. So my guess and my instinct is going to say, prepare for large amounts of people to be there at night. Yeah. I think I said during the Halloween event, like, Gabe, we're not staying at night really for the next one, because it's too many people. You can't, like, it gets to be too many people, and especially because of the lights. Yeah. You know, it's the lights. People are going to gather. People gather to look. Yeah. It isn't the same thing as standing in line for a piece of food and then go and find a place to sit where everybody kind of scatters. Everybody's in one spot to look at one thing. And there's just those congested areas that you just can't avoid really as much as you try. So yeah, if you're in any way hesitant about crowds, like, I'd say leave before it gets dark. Yeah, or at least stay until it's dark just for a little bit to get a taste and get a taste. Yeah. Get, like, glimpse the lights and then leave, because it does get a little stressful at night. Which the places that at least we had issues with during Halloween were Calico Town Square and Fiesta Village. Yeah. Those were the only two places. Yeah, they were the worst places. But I mean, like, Ghost Town, it's rather cramped in general. But I think while walking through there, I never really felt like anybody just stopped there. Yeah, walking through wasn't It was bad. Never an issue. It was the areas that were a little bit bigger where people were kind of just hanging out and congregating. Yeah. Which I wish Knott's would kind of discourage, at least in some parts, just because it just becomes too packed. And, you know, if you have people who are sitting there at tables, that's totally fine. Yeah. But if now you're having people standing at trash cans and at the fences eating and stuff, that's not acceptable. Yeah. You need to have them sitting at a table, and if not, then you can't eat and take off your mask yet. I'm sorry, that's just the rules. But even, I don't know, I don't even feel comfortable being around that many people in masks. Even if they're all in their masks. Yeah. That's just too many people. Well, I mean, like, thankfully, it's outdoors. Yeah. And they're wearing masks. It's as safe as you possibly can be. It's just still more than I want to expose myself to. Exactly. Yeah. And with that being said, I mean, like, we did feel safe at Halloween. Yeah, we did. And we did feel safe at Taste of Knott's. We did, yeah. Like, there was no problem. I just got to a point, though, where I had to leave. Yeah, there's a certain level of comfortableness that we have. And each person is different. And each person's different, but once it's reached, then you just gotta go. Yeah, each person, like, they're, and it's, it's not my place to judge anybody. Other people might be totally cool, with hanging out in a crowd of people when everyone is wearing masks and following the rules as best as they can. But I just have a certain tolerance level, this year during this pandemic, just to keep myself and everyone safe. And once I got to that point, I was like, hey, Gabe, we're leaving. And you felt the same way by that point. No, I totally felt the exact same way. I felt the exact same way. So there really wasn't an issue there. But I am excited to visit, Taste of Merry Farm. Just to get to get a taste of Merry Farm. Because, there is something very special, magical about Merry Farm during the Christmas season, which I really, really, really enjoy. And it's something that I potentially was going to miss. Yeah. To a certain extent, a lot of people are going to be mad at me and may not agree with me. I actually like Christmas at Knott's more than I like Christmas at Disney. Oh, we've been saying that for years. So if they're mad at you, they've already stopped listening. That's true. So they tuned in just to hear that. Yeah. Just to get re-mad. Yeah. Re-mad. Yeah. But yeah, no, I enjoy Christmas time at Knott's significantly more. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not quite sure. It's definitely not like a tangible thing. It isn't like, I like the lights on the buildings. Yeah. Because in and out of itself, if you look at any event, they're all the frickin' same.
Yeah.
The carolers and lights and snow and here and there and what's it and foods and stuff like that. They're all the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they all have Santa. Whoop-de-doo. But there's this intangible something that Merry Farm brings that I appreciate more.
Yeah.
I also, more so, I could point it out with Scary Farm. Oh, ghost! No, it was just paper towels that fell over.
They were settling.
Yeah, they were settling, exactly. But, you know, more so Scary Farm, I could say, like, it's because of A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But with Merry Farm, it's very much an intangible thing that I just love it so much.
Yeah. It's more, I don't know. It's more...
Wholesome? Not wholesome.
No,
it's not wholesome. That's not even the right word.
Wholesome kind of works, though, because it's kind of what I was trying to reach for, but I couldn't really find the right word. It's like, it's more nostalgic. It's more like small town, quaint vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Pillsbury crescent roll versus like a home baked grandma made crescent roll.
So you're saying something that feels corporate versus something that doesn't feel corporate.
Yeah.
Even though Knott's is Cedar Fair and that is extremely corporate.
Yeah, but I feel like recently
none of the events that they throw feel corporate.
Well, see, I think they're in the last few years, I think they've gotten really good at trying to get back to their roots and keep that feel, you know, of like nostalgia and just like small town USA wholesomeness. Yeah. And I feel like they have done a good job. Like as much as Disneyland has Main Street USA and all that, like it's different.
It is very different.
Because it's Disney brand. It's Disney Main Street. It's not Everytown USA anymore. It's Disney Main Street.
Yeah, it's Disney Main Street as opposed to just Ghost Town. Yeah. You know, this random ghost town, you know, that's decorated. Yeah. And I do think that the people in charge at Knott's and you know, the people who take care of the entertainment and the food and, you know, the who's its and what's its of the event, you know, Ken Parks and all those people, they really, 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 really care about Knott's history and the park itself. It isn't just about making money. It isn't just about, you know, putting on a good show. It's about creating something that fits Knott's, that feels distinctly Knott's. Yep. And I think that's something to appreciate and to look up to because, you know, as opposed to other parks like Disney, where it's just kind of generic Disney Christmas, it's distinctly Knott's wholesome small town feel, which I really, really, like you said, I just really, really appreciate it. And, you know, we're broken records when it comes to that kind of stuff because we've talked about it before. Yeah. You know, we've talked about how much we appreciate the people who work at Knott's to, you know, put their loving care into these things. So and it shows, it shines through in all aspects of the event. And one thing I do want to bring up is the fact that the price did increase from the last tasting event, and there is not an extra tasting. Some people did get a little peeved about that. I don't necessarily get that peeved because unlike, I mean, like if you were just going to a theme park, you're paying a ticket price which doesn't include food or drinks. Right now, you're paying a ticket price that doesn't include rides. You're just... It's just food and drink. It's just food and drink. Yeah. But you're also getting entertainment. Yeah. So, you know, the extra $5, extra $10 at the most, I really don't care that much because there's so much entertainment value in the price of that ticket outside of the food.
The way I see it is... They can charge that much, and they know they're still going to sell out. So
exactly.
Why not?
It's what the market can handle.
Every business is struggling to survive right now. They're not freaking open, people. Help support the thing you love so much. Stop whining over an extra $10 and just go. If you were to go to one movie, no.
I miss theme parks so much. Whoa!
Oh, $10 more? Oh my God! I'm gonna complain.
I'm gonna stop you at $10
I'm gonna
upcharge.
Complain so much about this, but I'm still gonna go. Yeah. No, it's like if you went to one movie with you and say a few members of your family, by the time you all got tickets and drinks and soda,
it's over $100.
You'd spend the same amount for 3 hours that Knott's is offering for a whole day of food and entertainment. Yeah. So shut your trap and enjoy it.
Nikki's hard-lined advice for the episode.
I am a beer and a half in, and I was already fueled up going into this. Like
that's true. You were very feisty coming into this.
I was feisty.
The beer really has nothing to do with it. You were already mad.
No, I was already feisty.
You were already feisty.
Facebook drama.
Facebook drama of stupid people.
Yeah.
Stupid people and Bananas Fosters and stuff. Stupid stuff.
But still, I mean what I say, though. Like, come on. It's like, where else are you spending your money this year?
True. No, you're right. And I was making fun of it, but it is kind of silly for somebody to be like, oh my God, I get to go to Knott's Berry Farm. It's $35. It's so cheap. And I get to eat food and be in the park. Oh, $40. Let's throw up the brakes there. Let's talk about the price. It's like, no, dude. The park is open to a certain extent. You get to eat. You get to be in the park. You get to see entertainment. You get to hear the music. You get to go into the stores. And the only thing that's missing is the rides. And you're complaining about a $40 ticket price.
And also,
to me, that is beyond worth it.
And also, I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I can barely get through those 5 tastings as it is in the day. Like, I don't think I could stomach one more, even if they offered it. Like,
and the thing is, like, I understand if the ticket increase has caused an issue with some people, because right now people are falling into financial hardship and things.
They shouldn't be going anyway.
But I'm also not going to sit here and tell people you can do whatever you want. Amy. I'm personally not going to sit here and be like, you shouldn't be going. If you're having money problems, people are going to decide what they want to do. And if they find that this escape from the horrors of reality is worth that price for them,
then they shouldn't complain about it.
Then they should go, but know that the ticket price is set for a specific reason. I don't think that Knott's is particularly saying $40 to gouge a price. I think it's still a very fair price for 5 tastings plus all the entertainment plus all the stores to go into.
Yeah.
And everything that's kind of included with that, literally everything minus rides.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair price. But if you find that this is something that you need during this time, then by all means go. Just I think there's a fine line between being slightly upset that they've increased the price because you're having financial hardships versus completely going crazy about the prices because it's just insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. If people are understanding what I'm trying to say here, I don't want people to feel bad. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm crapping on everybody for, if they're having financial hardships, which I'm not. Because by all means, Nikki and I have had instances this year where we've been like, oh no. But we've been fine, thankfully.
Yeah.
Everybody's having their issues right now, and I don't want to take a crap on anybody's parade right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just do want to preface, or at least say that after everything here. So I understand people's situations. I understand that sometimes it's hard. And especially when you look to these things for an escape and not being able to afford them, it's tough. But I mean, nothing has really changed between COVID and prior COVID. It's always, I think the can I afford it, can't I afford it has always been around when it comes to theme parks. So.
No, always. And we're not judging on that department. Like, we canceled our Disney passes.
Oh yeah, we canceled a lot of things.
Yeah, so it's like we
canceled 2 separate trips to Walt Disney World.
We did. One because of COVID.
No, it was before COVID.
We realized we couldn't afford it. We were
trying to be responsible.
We were trying to be responsible people. But yeah, no, so it's just, if you're gonna go, don't complain about the money. Just
go and enjoy it.
Yeah, just go and enjoy it.
So
yeah. Don't be petty.
Let's talk about some turkey balls.
Those. How did you know that that's what I'm most excited about?
What balls?
Turkey dinner balls.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Just specify. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, no, because I'm excited about them
too. That was the wiener.
Is it a picture of a wiener?
No, the picture of turkey balls.
What if the wiener is a picture? What if the weenie is a picture of?
Oh, it's weenie.
Yeah, not wiener.
I wanted to say weenus earlier, and I was like, no, wait, that's not
it's
right.
Weenie, it's not wiener.
No, in my head, literally, the thought process was, oh, I should mention the weenie or the weenus again, and I was like, wait, no, it's not weenus, it's wiener, and then so I said wiener. I was still wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely not wiener.
Oh my god. You had forgotten about it too. I should have just left it alone.
I didn't realize what you had said.
Dang it.
It went over my head immediately. But what if the weenie is a picture of a wiener? Like, just like a hot dog.
Like a hot dog.
Yeah, just a hot dog.
Yeah. That's enticing.
You audience thinking about other things? Disgusting people. Anyway, yes, so they have the turkey dinner tater tots, which are fully loaded tater tots topped with turkey stuffing, gravy, and cranberries. Then the turkey dinner bites, which is the turkey balls that we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Which are turkey stuffing, cranberries, and gravy.
I want both of those things.
All up in my face.
Yeah.
All up in my face hole.
2 of my 5 tastings are already spoken for.
two of the 5 already spoken for.
Yeah.
The one thing that they did have on there, I wrote down a few savory things and 2 sweet things, because they named a couple things, but I mean, like, overall they didn't name a whole bunch of stuff. Scrooge's spicy cranberry pomegranate glazed wings.
Ooh.
Holy crap, that sounds so good to me. I will eat a full bowl of those. Cupid's corn chowder soup, and it comes in a bread bowl.
I don't like chowder that much, but I'll try it.
You don't like chowder?
No.
Chowder. Say
Chowder?
Say chowder, Frenchie.
Chowder's like a white creamy soup, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like white cream.
Well, this one's yellow because it's corn.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah, don't say things that you're not sure of.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the light is bouncing off of the corn to make everything else like kind of like look yellow.
Refraction.
Refraction.
Yeah.
You want some refraction soup?
Oh my god.
And then we talked about the turkey stuff, but then the 2 desserts that caught my eye, literally all it said was concha. But it's a concha sliced in half.
It's a sandwich
With ice cream in the middle.
It's an ice cream sandwich.
Concha.
Oh my
Concha
god.
ice cream sandwich.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Is it
and
pink?
It's literally,
is it pink icing or white icing?
Well, icing. There's no icing.
On a concha.
Conchas, there's no icing on
But
conchas.
It's a no, but the
It's like the sugar crust.
that's what I meant.
It's not the same
Why
thing.
do you have to be so technical? You knew what I meant.
Because it's not the same thing.
Okay, is it pink sugar crust or white sugar crust?
Pink.
Thank you. That's
And it's
all I
literally
wanted
like
to
a sandwich this
know.
time because it's actually bread.
Yeah.
And then chocolate peppermint cheesecake bars.
Don't like cheesecake.
Well, it's not like thick, cheesy cheesecake. It's like thin.
Doesn't matter.
Is it the taste or the texture?
Both.
Okay, then screw you.
I will not be wasting
I will
my tasting.
Well, I'll waste your tasting on it, and I'll have
No, waste
2
your own
servings.
tasting.
I will, and your tasting.
No, you keep your hands off my tasting.
My grubby little hands are gonna be all over your
No,
tasting.
I think we're gonna have to buy another card or
Probably.
reload our card.
Yeah, well, I mean, didn't we do that last time?
No, we thought about it,
And then we thought better of the situation.
we were about to do it, and then it got crowded, and we left.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
Well, that means we're just gonna have to eat through our cards really fast and then reload and then go through that one slow.
I don't think I can stomach that.
Oh, I'll stomach it.
You'll
all right.
stomach my.
I'll stomach a
Well,
lot of it.
I might be able to if you use all my tastings.
Well, I'll use all the tastings, go to the parking lot, throw up, come back in, then get another. Because you're allowed to come back in, so I'm gonna leave.
You
Puke and come
reset?
back in.
I puked in the parking lot.
Puke and reset.
Yeah,
No, well, that was because you had food poisoning.
I did have food poisoning.
That was at Scary Farm. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for you.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it
but
was
we've
a
already
very
talked
bad-
about that
yes,
on the
we've
show.
talked about that.
I just want to remind everyone how much of a trooper I was.
But we have some scary Disney attractions to get into today.
Yeah,
So let's waste no time.
we wasted a lot of time.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's waste no more time.
Okay.
Jump right into our top 5 scariest Disney attractions. So we're going to go from, at least in our opinion, from least scary to the scariest Disney attraction that there are. So first one, number 5 on our list, which is probably one of the ones that a lot of people are expecting to hear about, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yes.
So a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's Wind in the Willows. It's just a frog doing his thing." It's like, no.
Not really.
Have you been on this thing? Because yeah, like the first like 3/4 of the ride is like all cheery, happy. Ooh, the frog's going wild.
Then it takes a
Then-
turn.
Then it literally takes a nosedive, and you literally go to hell.
Yeah.
It is a complete left turn.
Doesn't it
that
get
you
hot
don't-
too?
It's warm.
It's warm.
The judge turns into the devil. There's a gigantic dragon. There's a whole bunch of joyous little devil dudes like
Yeah.
bouncing up and down and stuff. It's genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
And as a kid, at least I remember being a kid going on this ride. I didn't know what Mr. Toad's was. I didn't know what Wind in the Willows was. I just knew it was a Disney ride, and I wanted to go on a Disney ride.
Yeah.
And it's in Fantasyland.
And the line probably wasn't
And it's
that
fine.
long.
It wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mr. Toad's, yeah. Mr. Toad's is like next to Peter Pan and Alice, one of the longest lines.
Yeah.
But I remember going into the hell section and genuinely being terrified because I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like my child brain couldn't comprehend what happened. Why are we here?
Well, with no movie context either. It's like
It doesn't help. It doesn't
Yeah.
help. No, it doesn't help at all. But just the fact, could you name a more hardcore Disney attraction ride where you literally go to hell? You literally are in hell. Not Gates of Doom, not Twilight Zone. You're in hell with the devil. That is where you are at. Can
Yeah.
you name another ride that's like that?
No.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy. It's nuts.
And very unexpected.
The fact that people are like, pirates chasing women, that's a historical thing, but I'm going to get mad at it. But they're totally fine with sending your kids to hell. Speaks a lot about our country.
How does Snow White's Scary Adventure end?
Huh?
How does Snow White's Scary Adventure end?
That ends literally with the seven dwarves running up a hill, and it's raining, and then a rock falls on her, and she screams, and that's it.
Okay.
She goes, ah! And then it's literally, you go through, there's this happily ever after. That's the end of that.
Okay.
But yeah, so literally the ending of the ride, you're just in hell. And I actually think that's absolutely insane.
It's terrifying.
No, it's really scary, especially because the entire ride is like this jovial, fun kind of like jaunt with these characters of like, oh, we're silly, we're getting in trouble, ha ha ha, we're driving and we shouldn't be doing it. Oh my god, I went to jail and now I broke out and did it again.
Who are you supposed to be right now?
I don't know.
David shit?
Maybe.
David.
Ew, David.
Yeah, David.
No, I was supposed to be a sister.
Well, and oh yeah, she's the one that always got in trouble.
Yeah.
We just started watching Schitt's Creek and we're obsessed.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
But okay. I think that as a kid, I was either just very unobservant or just spaced out a lot because I never really got the concept. Yeah, and it's like, even now, like if I try to think through the ride, I can't visually.
Really? You
yeah,
can't?
I don't think my brain works that way.
You know what?
Well, no, I know the beginning, and I know you go into the fireplace. After that, it's a little bit of a blank.
Well, you go through like the halls of Toad Hall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the characters like swinging over. You go into the town. You break into like the bar. You go into the Bull in a China Shop store.
I remember Bull in China Shop.
Yeah, like all that stuff. You get in trouble.
Yeah.
You go to. They say guilty, and you go to jail.
I remember that scene, the guilty scene.
Yeah, you break out of jail again, and then literally you turn down a path.
Then the
train lights that are coming towards you, you get hit.
Yeah.
Loud noise, flashing lights, and just like the drawings on the walls. Then you're in hell.
Yeah.
Literally, you get hit by a train, and you're disintegrated by a train.
Yeah.
Die, and go to hell.
Yeah, I get that now, and I think like as a teenager, I was like, oh. Shoot, I just went to hell, in this ride. That's weird.
Shoot, I just went to hell.
But
oh
as
my
a
God.
kid, like I wrote it several times as a kid too, but I think I was just like, oh, let's look at the characters. Oh. Like I don't think I actually really played attention to plot and storyline in the ride.
Attention?
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe my kid brain was just too spacey to...
Maybe. I mean, like, I think it goes over kids' heads most of the time. But when you're cognizant of what's actually happening in the story, kind of nuts.
Well, and you, like, even as a kid, you're hardwired differently than me. You're very visually driven.
I was more, as a kid, before I realized it was hell,
yeah.
I was more scared of the train because I didn't understand how the illusion worked.
Yeah.
I was actually genuinely terrified I was going to get hit by something.
Yeah.
And I never got it.
Yeah.
But then when I became a little bit older and I was cognizant of the fact, like,
that's a trick.
This is hell.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like biblical hell. Like, this is crazy. Oh, man. I just went on this Disney ride. I went to hell. Yeah, so that's our number one. And no shock, number two, Nikki spoiled it already, but it's Snow White's Scary Adventure. It's in the name.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't realize that.
I didn't realize
you
I
knew the list,
spoiled
but
it.
you just didn't think about it. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's not a big deal. These are the two rides that I'm like, everyone's like, oh, they're going to be on the
They'll
list.
figure it out eventually that they're in the list.
No, yeah. No, I mean, like, these are the two rides that people are guaranteed to know that are on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Snow White's Scary Adventure. It's in the name. And also, I want to say specifically that we're talking about Disneyland and the prior Walt Disney World version.
Yeah.
Because although ours is still around and is scary, I saw pictures and videos of the version that was in Walt Disney World.
The first one.
Yeah. No.
The first one in Walt Disney World.
What do you mean the first one in Walt Disney World?
The prior Walt Disney World one, before they changed it to the one that's like ours.
No.
Well, okay. Explain yourself then.
Theirs doesn't exist anymore at all. It's gone. Because they did New Fantasyland.
Okay.
So it basically, if you want to make the comparison there, they basically got rid of that and put Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Got it.
So, yeah, they don't have Scary Adventure anymore. It's gone. So, but theirs in particular, when it was around, felt very much purposefully scary as opposed to ours.
Okay.
Like, it felt like there was a lot of like more like jump scary moments with the witch, and like the faces on the trees were that much more distinct and like kind of much more demon-esque
Yeah.
in a way. It felt very much more scary.
And then
than
at the end, this is why I asked the question earlier, because you showed me a video about the Walt Disney World one, and at the end, it's the witch pushing a boulder onto you.
Yeah, but she gets hit by like lightning or something and dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, because I remember ours, but then I remember that one, and I was like, okay, wait, what happens?
It's similar because I believe it's raining and like the dwarves are still there and everything. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, Snow White's Scary Adventure. But prior to the name change, when I think they changed the name during the upgrade of Fantasyland in the 80s at Disneyland, it was just Snow White's Adventure or Snow White something or other.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the scary word in there at all in the title. And I think a lot of people were genuinely terrified about it. Also because they were like, where is Snow White? Because they didn't know where she was in the attraction, because
but
you were supposed to be Snow White. So that's why all the scary stuff is happening to you.
But that wasn't really explained well enough for people to get it. They're just like, where the heck is Snow White?
It's like Alice in Wonderland, where there wasn't really an Alice figure for a while, and then they added one. You know what I mean? But it was genuinely terrifying. So when it got that refurb in our Fantasyland during the 80s, it got the moniker of Snow White's Scary Adventure.
Warning, warning, warning.
It's a big warning, because if you go into that ride thinking, oh, it's going to be like Peter Pan, or it's going to be like 3/4 of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, it really is not.
Do you know what also scared me? Because no one told me that this happened. The Queen peeking out from the outside.
Oh,
upstairs.
like in the facade.
Yeah. So in the facade. So literally one day I was just like chilling in Fantasyland, and I was like, oh my god! Like I didn't know she was up there. No one told me, because I wasn't one of those kids who like had a pass or had lots of friends that went all the time. You know, who told them all the little things. Yeah. So no one told me that the Queen peeked out from up there. So one day I was just like,
the one thing when it comes to that ride is the scene where you kind of go into the witch's chamber and her back is facing you.
Oh, yeah.
And you see her reflection in the mirror. And in the mirror you see the beautiful witch. Mm-hmm. But when she turns around, she's actually the very ugly old witch.
Yeah.
And as a kid, as like a 5 or a 6-year-old, I cannot tell you how scared I was of this ride.
Yeah.
Like, I was genuinely terrified. I'm not talking about, like, I don't want to ride that ride. It's like, cry, I don't want to go on this ride. Because I felt, like, in my kid's mind...
that she'd fall you out and kill you?
Well, no, like, she would, like, turn around and, like, lean into my face. Like, just get so close to me. And I didn't want that to happen. Yeah. And it was the same thing with the Haunted Mansion as a kid. Like, I thought that these ghosts were going to be, like, super close to us, and I didn't want them getting close to me, and that was part of the fear. But like the idea that she turns around, it's like a very, very slow jump scare.
Very, very.
It's a hop scare.
Very slow jump scare.
It's a hop scare.
It's a saunter scare.
It's a saunter scare. Yeah. It's a sneaky scare. But yeah, no, like I was genuinely terrified of this as a kid. Like I really didn't want to ride the ride because of it. Yeah. And pretty much everything that follows that scene is terrifying, because you're going through the dungeons and the music is creepy, and you hear like the water dripping down, and you see skeletons hanging. You go through the forest while the trees are attacking you, and there's crocodiles on the floor and stuff, and the witch is coming out in the boat like, have the apple. Yeah. She does that sound at the end. Nobody really hears it because like the music's so loud.
You're already passing by too.
Yeah, you're already passing by, but she goes like, take the apple. Yeah, no. Thematically, like it takes you places, and thankfully it ends very abruptly.
That part always bugged me. It's like, it's not just this one too. Like other dark rides do it too, where it's just they get to a certain point and then they're just like, okay, the end, and there's no resolution. It's
there's zero resolution.
They just wrap it up real quick at the end, and it bugs me.
Yeah, I mean it happens, but more so than any other dark ride, this one ends very abruptly. Oh yeah. Which before Disneyland closed because of COVID, the ride was already closed because they were refurbishing it and actually adding a new ending scene so that it wouldn't end abruptly, which to my knowledge, the ending scene would be, the prince kissing Snow White. Yeah. And and her waking up, and that's the ending.
Yeah. Well, that's the ending of the movie. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Nikki. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I just wasn't sure if you'd seen the movie.
I have film school. Thank you.
So you were forced to watch it.
Yeah, they put my eyes open like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Like, watch this.
I think we mentioned this on the show before too, but I was horrified to discover that Gabe hadn't seen almost any of the Disney princess movies.
I was the youngest child. I had an older sister. She didn't watch that stuff.
Yeah. No, I know, and you're a boy, and like
I'm a real boy.
But to me as a kid, it was just like, well, I watched Jungle Book,
Which you hate.
Which
I don't get.
We had 2 copies on VHS. 2 copies, and I hate it. It would bug me every time I opened the VHS drawer. It was like, why do we have 2 copies?
I have to say no twice.
Yes, exactly.
Do you want to watch this? No. Are you sure you don't want to watch it?
No. To me, it was like, it's one of the boy movies. Get that away, so.
Oh, David.
Oh, God, we watched too much Schitt's Creek.
We watched a lot of Schitt's Creek. Yeah, Jungle Book. But yeah, so Snow White's Scary Adventure is our number 2.
Yeah.
Or rather, our number 4. So,
yeah.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was number 5. Snow White's Scary Adventure was number 4.
What's number 3?
Number 3, I think, is going to surprise some people because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are expecting it to be number 1.
Yeah.
And it is Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. Now, the reason why I put this at number 3 and not number 1, and you'll understand with the subsequent 2 selections, but outright Disney said with a sign, this is scary.
Warning.
Warning, this is scary. Now, to what level of scary it was based on each person was yet to be determined, but overall, on a scary level for a Disney attraction, I'd put it probably like at a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And not even just the attraction experience itself, but like the lead up and the dialogue and just a lot of it felt just very off.
It just didn't fit. It didn't fit Disney.
Well, yeah, it didn't fit.
Yeah.
I mean, it opened up because of the Tomorrowland, and it just didn't fit Magic Kingdom at all. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's just like this overall weird sense to it too, to the whole attraction.
Yeah.
But we have a little information on this one as well, just to kind of give everybody a sense of the attraction itself. So officially, the Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter opened up June 20th in 1995 as the part of the new Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom, which replaced Mission to Mars. Guests were ushered into the Tomorrowland Interplanetary Convention Center for a demonstration of new technology from an alien corporation known as XS Tech. The company's chairman, L.C. Clench, voiced by Jeffrey Jones, or acted by Jeffrey Jones, set the attraction's subtly sinister tone with... It's a sinister tone. That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly what I meant. Sinister tone with a pre-show welcome that included his corporate philosophy. If something can't be done with excess, then it shouldn't be done at all. Guests proceeded into a second area where they were introduced to an XS robot known as Simulated Intelligence Robotics, or SIR for short, voiced by Tim Curry. Originally called Tom 2000, short for Technobotic Oratorical Mechanism Series 2000, and voiced by Phil Hartman, which I want to say that there are videos online, which I'm probably going to put like right after I talk about this here, that show Phil Hartman's version, which was like the soft opening version, and Tim Curry's version, and they are so different.
Really?
Like I can't even begin to tell you how different they are. So I'm going to play it right now for everybody to hear, and then we'll talk about it right after.
Welcome to the great big universe of XS. I'm the XS 2000 Technobotic Presentation Unit, programmed to show you how to seize the future. Now you're probably asking, what could the galaxy's leader in sophisticated consumer technology possibly do for me? Well, how would you like to travel anywhere, anytime, at the touch of a button? Science fiction? Science fact. XS Tech is here on Earth to offer you, for a month's fee, the ultimate mode of transportation, teleportation. This is a fully operational XS Series 1000, the first in a complete line of personal and commercial teleportation system capable of sending solid matter and biological life from one place to another instantly. See for yourself the wonders of XS teleportation.
Welcome, weary travelers, to the great big universe of XS. You may call me SIR. That is SIR, which stands for Simulated Intelligence Robotics. What do you want, Skippy? No, you may not get out. You're our lucky volunteer. Now, dear friends, you're probably asking, what could the galaxy's leader in sophisticated technology possibly do for me? Well, how would you like to travel anywhere, anytime, at the touch of a button? Science fiction? No. Behold the XS Series 1000, the first in a complete line of personal and commercial teleportation systems capable of sending bright-eyed biological life forms like yourselves, and even lower life forms like Skippy, from one place to another instantly. In a moment, I will break down our fuzzy little friend into a mass of molecules, send those molecules through the air above your head, and reconstruct them in the tube over here as good as new. And now, witness for yourselves the wonders of XS teleportation.
Tim Curry is so sinister. He is so scary in the way that he presents this like example of the experiment of like transporting this little alien creature, and I'm sure this was done to deter people from going on the attraction if they were going to be scared.
Like, this is your time to back out.
Yeah, this is your moment to back out.
Yeah.
This is the tone of the ride.
Enter at your own risk.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I expect nothing less from Tim Curry.
I mean, like, you heard it. Like, Phil Hartman was jovial, excited. Yeah. Welcome to XS Tech. Yeah, we're going to show you this awesome stuff. You know, like, it's fun. It's exciting. Tim Curry takes it places, man. Frickin' Pennywise, man. He takes it places. He proceeds to demonstrate the company's practically painless teleportation technology using a cute little animatronic alien named Skippy. The creature's charred and disoriented appearance after being teleported a short distance across the room suggested the technology was flawed. While teleporting Skippy back across the room, Sir pauses the process, demonstrating how the technology could be used to suspend subjects in teleportation indefinitely. Ooh. Which is weird. Like, I played it already, but Tim Curry's character, Sir, basically goes, he basically says to a certain extent, he's like, you're not burnt, you just have a healthy glow. Finally, guests were seated in harnesses with a circular chamber surrounding an enormous plastic cylinder, the teleportation tube. Clench and two bumbling XS Tech employees, Spinlock and Dr. Femus, communicated live from across the galaxy via video screens. Initially, a single guest was to be teleported out of the chamber for a meeting with Clench. Instead, Clench was seized by inspiration and decided to have himself teleported into the chamber to meet the entire group for a unforgettable encounter. Clench's impatience and unexpected change of plans caused the teleportation signal to be diverted through an unknown planet. As a result, a towering, winged, and carnivorous alien was beamed into the tube by mistake. It's just funny. As chaos and confusion ensues, and technicians panic, the creature quickly escaped. However, an intermittent darkness and flashes of lights revealed the shattered and empty teleportation tube. A power outage then plunged the chamber into total darkness as guests sat helplessly, restrained to their seats. A maintenance worker attempted to restore the power, but was mauled as the alien shrieks resounded throughout the room, and sprayed with fluid flew out into the audience and guests in the face. So I guess it's supposed to be blood,
yeah,
or like alien spit.
It's definitely supposed to be blood.
Yeah. After the spray of fluid, guests felt their seats rumble and shake as the alien made their way swiftly throughout the crowd, during which time guests also felt the breath of the alien on their back of their necks and drool dripping from its mouth. The power finally comes back on with the assistance of the two XS technicians, and ravenous alien was ultimately driven back into the broken teleportation device, but overpowering the tube caused the alien to explode right before the tube closes. Guests were then released from their seats while the two technicians bid them goodbye and resumed their search for the misplaced Clench. On the way out, guests could see the sign, "What a way to go," and we were wished a nice tomorrow and exited into the Merchant of Venus. So, like, that is the synopsis for the attraction.
Yeah.
And this was a ride that I don't think people were totally ready for.
No, definitely not.
At all. I still believe that if this ride was in MGM Studios, it probably would have lived a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not a Magic Kingdom ride.
No, not at all. And the fact that the genesis of the idea came from Michael Eisner wanting to do a freaking alien ride called the Nostromo.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to me. Like, even the thought of bringing in Ridley Scott's Alien into Disney Park.
Yeah.
That makes no sense whatsoever. But, you know, the idea of this attraction, I think, is fun, but nobody expected how scary it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was fully expected for how scary it was going to be.
Yeah.
Which, it's kind of a bummer. Like, there's not that many attractions that are around that are genuinely terrifying and actually kind of creepy, like really scary. I'm really sad this thing's not around.
Yeah, but would it be still as creepy scary after the first time you went on it?
Good point.
Or would you just not bother ever going on it again? Because I'm pretty sure that's the case with me. I would ride it once, and even if I did get scared, I'd probably be like, okay, that's it. Because like we never got to ride this, but we did ride Stitch's Great Escape.
You know, it's equally as terrifying when know the chili dog smell in your face.
Yeah, no, but like honestly, but those like harness things that they have you wear,
pretty uncomfortable.
They're really uncomfortable. Like that's scary in and of itself if you're claustrophobic. So you know, just like it's like I think it would be more of a one and done type of thing. So like even though I like the concept. Maybe in a different park. I feel like if like Universal did something like this, I feel like it could have lived a very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it was just misplaced, mismanaged, ahead of its time, maybe.
I think it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I really, really do. Because a lot of people who wrote it actually enjoyed it for how scary it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's unfortunate because you have, like I had said at the beginning of the episode, you have a company that's not associated with the word scary.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks scary when you think of Disney. So you have an attraction that is legitimately terrifying. Feel like people would be pretty upset. Even though there's signs everywhere saying like, hey, this is a little bit scarier, just FYI.
Yeah.
You know, people are warned. It's like, you warned me, but I'm mad anyway because of my everything being ruined. Literally. You ruined my childhood from this one ride. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sad that I didn't get to write it, but
I'm
glad that something like this existed because I do think that, you know, as Tony Baxter kind of said, in ride design, you have scary moments, but what makes the scary okay is the fact that there's a way out and there's a way to go about it. But on a park sense, you have all these happy-go-lucky rides, and then you have this one ride that is genuinely terrifying. So I feel like that kind of thought process of attraction building can kind of go to like park building. Yeah. You know, where you're designing a park and you have all these rides. It's like, oh, everybody could be happy-go-lucky in these rides, but this is where you're going to get scared. Yeah. You know, and I like that. I like the ebb and flow, and the same thing when it comes to horror attractions, you know, mazes and stuff. But opposite, it's like I want to get really scared, but there's also moments where I want to laugh and I want to feel happy. Yeah. As opposed to fear. So it's literally the opposite way around. Yeah. So hence like The Hanging or, you know, Bill and Ted's when it was around, you know? Yeah, exactly. Palate cleansers. Palate cleansers for sure. Which, you know, all of Magic Kingdom was the palate cleanser for this. Yeah. Which, you know, like I said, and I sound like a broken record, but I'm really sad I didn't get to go on it because I would have loved to hear it. See, I would have been a person riding that often because I want to see other people's reactions. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, is that I love watching people's reactions on rides that I've been on a million times. Mm-hmm. And I would go on that ride a lot just to watch people freak out. Yeah. Because I know for a fact that they're not expecting what is about to come. Yeah, that is definitely something you would do. Yeah, 100%. It's Schadenfreude, almost. So number 2 on our list is something that not many people may know about. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know about it before this. And I made you watch a video. I made you watch a Defunctland video on it. It's really cool. Yeah, it was. It's Cinderella's Castle Mystery Tour. And the reason why this, for me, beats out Alien Encounter is because it isn't outright told that it's scary and dark. They lure you in under false pretenses. They lie to you. Yeah, pretty much. They straight up lie to you. Or they, what's not lie, but
just leave out.
Omit.
They omit. Yeah.
They lie by omission.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, basically, I mean, it's a castle tour, so as opposed to, Disneyland's castle where you have a walkthrough attraction that, is just kind of reiterating the story of the castle. Or in Walt Disney World, having Cinderella's, whatever it is, it's round table pizza dinner spectacular. I don't know what it's called.
Dining.
It's literally it's
dining.
It's literally a round table pizza inside of the castle. They have this castle mystery tour, and upon entering the attraction, the tour guide leads guests into a gallery and begins talking about Disney heroes and heroines with paintings of Cinderella, Pinocchio, Aurora, Snow White, and Taran, which, by the way, Taran is the hero from the Black Cauldron, hanging on the walls nearby. Suddenly, the magic mirror appears, which, by the way, this is supposed to be the magic mirror from Snow White.
But they changed
it because it's in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea of it wouldn't translate, and there's issues with English and things like that too. So that basically it doesn't look like the magic mirror that you're used to. It looks more like a kabuki mask.
Yeah, it's like an actor in makeup.
Painted on someone's face. And it's absolutely terrifying. Yeah. It's nightmare fuel. And the fact they even had a walk-around character of like a dude with the painted face and a frame around his head.
I think the image for this episode should just be that walk-around character, if you can find it.
Guaranteed. I'll do it. But yeah, so the magic mirror appears, feeling insulted by the villains being put down, and explains that no hero is complete without a villain. A glowing force of magic then transforms the paintings into those depicted the following villains. Cinderella's painting becomes the Lady of Tremaine, Pinocchio's painting becomes that of Stromboli, Aurora's painting becomes Maleficence, and the Witch and the Horned King's paintings morph from those of Snow White and Taran, respectively. Guests then traverse into dungeonous tunnels, encountering different rooms of villains you saw in the beginning of the attraction. But the scariest of all of the rooms was the last room where guests encountered the Horned King.
The guests enter a room with some tapestries depicting the legend of the Black Cauldron hanging on the walls. The guide explains, once upon a time the world was ruled by evil. The Horned King, the evil lord, used the Black Cauldron, in quotations, Satan's kiln.
Terrifying.
Yeah, to manipulate and control the soldiers of death. Then the courageous and pure-minded hero, Taran, deprived the power of the great kiln using his sword of light, and peace was restored to the world. The magic mirror, in his final appearance, appears again to interrupt the guide and invite the guests to enter the black room next to the tapestries room as the doors close. It is in the Black Cauldron room. It is the final challenge. Will good win or evil prosper? The good will face the challenge with courage. The Black Cauldron is waiting to swallow you whole, the magic mirror says as he disappears.
That's hot.
A guest is chosen as the brave representative to carry the sword of light, most of the time a child, against the Horned King. So it's like like
the wand experience.
It's like the wand experience where they pick a kid. But this is a terrifying thing for a child to have to do.
Where's the youngest kid in the room? You get to fight the Satan dude. You come forward. Wipe your tears off. Come up here. Here's the sword. You're gonna save the world.
Yeah, I know, terrifying. So usually a kid is chosen to fight against the Horned King. Another door opens to an eerie hall that houses the Cauldron born lying on the floor. The Sword of Light, Taran's sword, is to the right, and the Black Cauldron is at the center atop a pedestal. Slowly, the Horned King appears and looks down to see that his enemy is still alive. Which,
by the way, I want to say this room has dead people everywhere. It's like skeletons all over the floor and the walls and everything.
Horrifying nightmare fuel. And the Horned King itself, I mean, Gabe, I'm sure you'll post a picture of him too. He is terrifying. Like he's animated, obviously.
He's an animatronic, and he was actually the time he was a pretty advanced animatronic.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying he's an animatronic. In the Black Cauldron, he's animated. I feel like they took liberties with the animatronic, scarier. And they made him so much scarier than he was in the movie. Yeah. Okay, so then the Horned King says
this speech, which I want to include the speech because to me this speech is so dark for any Disney attraction.
It's terrifying.
It to me it is way worse than just the end of the ride. You go to hell, kid.
Yeah.
So, too bad.
Yeah.
This is way worse.
Yeah.
Evil laugh. Everyone welcome. In this black cauldron, everything in the world is controlled. Don't be afraid. It will all be over shortly. No one can escape from here. You'll be sacrificed to the black cauldron. O Satan's kiln, awaken and resurrect the soldiers of death. Rebuild an army without rivals. The army of death, rise. The devil's servants, go and capture them, and I throw them into the cauldron. Don't leave anyone behind. The black cauldron wants more bodies. I swear to the death. Nobody can destroy me. What's that? Capture those fools and gratify the black cauldron. That is so dark.
Yeah, basically saying everyone's gonna die. It reminds me of the last room in Trapped from year 2.
Year 2?
With the nooses.
Oh, that's year 3.
Year 3, yeah. That
Hey,
reminds me of that. Like, hey, everyone's gonna die.
Hey, to get out of this place, you gotta hang yourself,
Yeah,
kids. Ha-ha.
Yeah. Okay, so then the Horned King proceeds to awaken the Cauldron-born, threatening to kill the guests and use the cauldron to make them join his army. Just then, the special guest points the sword of light towards the Horned King, and using its power, defeats the villain and his army by blasting them with a powerful bolt of light, and the hero's goodness triumphs. Leaving the chamber, the guests walk past a mural of the sword depicting the message, "Good conquers evil." The tour guide then makes a special presentation to the new hero, giving them a special medal as a reward, not charging them $50 for it, Universal. Sorry. Still bitter. For reward.
I'm sorry, I said Hong Kong a long time ago. I meant Tokyo. My bad.
Oops. An official statement from Tokyo Disneyland. We pay honor to the bravery, sincerity, and pure-mindedness of the guests who received power from the Sword of Light. The guest is now proclaimed a Knight of Fantasyland with a memorial medal as Sir, insert name here, the great hero of a great land. Good conquers evil. I mean, I think that's a really cool payoff for whoever gets chosen.
Yeah, you get the medal.
I would take that tour 1,000 times just to try to get that medal. And then in the Defunctland video, they said that like the last month it was open, everyone who went through got a medal. And like my nerdy like self is like drooling over these cool medals. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, it's all the way in Tokyo. It's not like I could ever get one. But yeah.
Well, like the one like outside of how terrifying like and how misleading the attraction is, it was way ahead of its time in what it was doing, because you know it did have a cast member kind of going along with you, just and kind of like giving you the tour and guiding you, like Jungle Cruise or you know whatever other attraction that actually has like a cast member with you. But it almost feels like an immersive experience that isn't just you witnessing things. Yeah, it's more interactive in the way that it was done, and I thought that was really interesting because it did seem pretty far out there for a Disney attraction, and unfortunately, you know, it's not around anymore. But it was replaced with another castle tour, which is actually that castle tour ended up being almost what was promised for this castle tour.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not as what's it called? It's far-reaching. It's not as interesting and different as this was.
It's more palatable for all people.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It's more like cutesy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more cutesy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think what's cool about this is how far it does go. I mean, you're not going to hell like you do in Mr. Toad's, which is kind of different. You know, you're not getting chased by the evil queen and going through, you know, the trees and stuff like in Snow White's Scary Adventure.
But it gets dark.
But it gets really dark, and it gets to a point of darkness where I'm actually quite shocked.
Yeah.
At the verbiage being used in the attraction itself.
You will all die.
Yeah,
join my army of evil.
Yeah, just the verbiage being used in the setting.
Yeah.
And the kabuki mask dude in the mirror.
Yeah.
Is just very, very off-putting for what seems to be a castle tour.
Especially for something that you're not expecting.
Yeah, you're really not expecting it.
It's like for
you're
something
really
like that, you feel like there should be a warning.
Yeah, I would feel like there would be like, hey, just FYI, it gets kind of dark.
Yeah.
Hey, FYI, Satan's involved.
They wanted to trick you.
Oh, no, they definitely did. But I also feel like that kind of experience lends itself more to Tokyo than it does for here.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like they could get away with it.
The theatrics of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember hearing in the Defunctline video that it was interesting to develop something like this because the language barrier and how service people speak to guests is very different than the way we in English is spoken to guests.
They had to toe a fine line because like it couldn't be just a normal like Jungle Cruise host because the service workers still have to have a certain level of like respectfulness, I guess, in the way they speak.
Exactly.
So they had to word it
so specifically.
Very specifically. Yeah.
The attraction itself is really interesting, and I actually implore everybody to kind of do a little research on this thing because it is really, really cool. But overall, misleading and dark.
Yeah.
As dark as can be.
Yep.
But not nearly as demented, weird, crazy our number one is. So our number one choice for Disney's Scariest Attraction is actually a seasonal attraction. And it is in Hong Kong Disneyland. And it is a pair of their scare houses that they did for Halloween. And they were the Nightmare Experience mazes. So the first one was called the Nightmare Experience. And then the sequel maze was called Maze of Madness, the Nightmare Experiment continues. So I happened to actually just stumble upon this recently. I did not. I knew that they did like scare houses and stuff, but I didn't realize to what extent. And when I watched it, I was completely and utterly shocked.
Yeah, because it's a Disney thing. Like you showed me the video, and I would expect something like that to be at Knott's or Universal even, but not a Disney park.
Yeah,
so it just shows me how much other like
cool stuff.
how much cool stuff we don't get in America.
It's funny, we're talking about scary attractions, but like we're like, I want that.
I want it.
I want it.
Yeah.
No, it like I was like, I can't express to you enough how shocked I was at the content of this attraction, let alone the character design and the makeup. Because a lot of it, like Nikki said, looks like characters you would expect to be in a parody style maze or haunted house at Horror Nights or Scary Farm.
Yeah,
like,
but
it genuinely was terrifying.
It was almost creepier because like the video you showed me, they had a Pinocchio character and a Mad Hatter and White Rabbit character, and it's almost creepier because, you know, at Knott's we've had like Pinocchio One Strong with Pinocchio-esque characters.
That blue bitch denied me my pound of flesh.
But it's still like slightly removed. You're like, okay, it's Pinocchio inspired, but there's something even more disturbing about seeing the actual characters twisted and turned dark. So like it was Pinocchio, but it was like it was creepy, enslaved, off-putting Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's quite disturbing.
So it's worse, I think, seeing the actual characters in those situations. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than knockoff inspired characters.
So the whole conceit to this maze, and at least for the original maze, was Professor G.T. Wu, who was the head of the Nightmare Experiment Project located inside the scientific study of phantasmagorian phenomena. This crazed steampunk eyepiece wearing man, his goal was to transport guests in some of Disney's most nightmarish realms. We would monitor the progress throughout your journey. So he literally is transporting you into these different things.
Yeah.
So in the first maze, you encounter Dr. Facilier, Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, the mutated toys from Sid's room.
You didn't show me video of Dr. Facilier.
Yeah. It was like a show moment.
Oh.
And not all of it is overtly scary.
Got it.
There are moments that are scarier than others, like every maze.
Yeah, like the Monsters Inc. part you showed me wasn't scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Undead Pirates in the original one.
Got it.
So you all encounter that. But then also there's a section in the first maze with the Mad Hatter, and that cast member disguised as one of the guests is randomly selected and allowed inside the padded cell with the Mad Hatter himself. He comes out of the thing, he grabs the person and puts them in a chair, closes the door. Once inside, he seats them at the head of the table and serves them some tea, madly cackling to himself as he ties a red scarf around their neck. Before the guest can take another sip of tea, the Mad Hatter yells he can hear voices whispering to him, announcing that the voices say that the guest would look wonderful without a head. The Mad Hatter picks up a knife, or at least in the video we watch, it was hedge clippers.
Yeah.
and prepares to decapitate the guest. Thankfully, curtains close over the windows as the room turns an ominous red and alarm bells start to ring.
Yeah,
and I showed you a video.
That's in a Disney park.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And I think a well done plant is such a good scare.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like in any type of experience. Like I remember being in Purge and they had plants in Purge.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was real good.
Or in the WB Horror Made Here, the first time we went through The Nun.
Oh, it was The Conjuring.
The Conjuring, yeah. There was a nun in it. In the room with the bedroom, and a plant gets pulled from the guests through the closet.
It was so
and then you
good.
see them later too. I just love that. I love a good placed plant.
Yeah.
So good. Not foliage. A good placed.
What if the plant's
actor
name
plant.
is foliage?
Then that is a unique name, parents. That person.
Probably Gwyneth Paltrow.
Maybe.
Apple.
Apple and foliage.
A very well placed plant can make an experience that much better, and especially something like this where it's like this kind of like violent turnout.
Yeah.
It makes you cringe a little bit more than you would normally if it were to just have happened, like if the person was already there.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
But like the fact that the Mad Hatter is chopping some dude's head off
In a Disney park.
in a Disney park.
Yeah.
What?
Never would happen here.
Never in a million years.
There would be uproar.
Yeah. And then the sequel maze, which was named Maze of Madness, The Nightmare Experience continues. Guests continue to encounter demented versions of Disney characters. In this one, they encounter CDA agents from Monsters, Inc., a disturbing-looking Pinocchio, who's locked up in chains as a slave and forced to perform begging for guests to help him.
Yep.
And the Mad Hatter is once again encountered chopping someone's head off again, and then Hades.
And while Pinocchio's begging, there's this creepy clown that's like being like, no, everything's fine.
So like,
it's cool.
this is the according to, because everybody's speaking Cantonese.
Yeah.
I think Cantonese. Might be wrong. So I couldn't really understand what was going on, but to my knowledge and reading up, it's like Professor Wu's assistant.
Got it.
And this dude is like dressed up like a doctor, but he has this creepy clown makeup on. Like legitimately creepy clown makeup. Makeup to the point where you would expect it to see in like Carnival or like a scare zone for like some clown scare zone. Like it's genuinely terrifying. Like I wouldn't want to run into him in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Like it's bad.
Well, I wouldn't want to run into any clown in a dark alley.
That's a good point. If you're in a dark alley and you see a clown, you probably should turn around.
Actually, I don't want to run into anyone in a dark alley. Actually, I'm never going to be in a dark alley.
What if it's Jerry Seinfeld? What if you walk down the alley and he's like, oh, what's the deal with dark alleys, huh?
I'd probably just laugh. Be like, oh, Jerry.
And then
keep
scream.
walking.
And then scream and run the other direction.
Hey, where's your fancy car? I want to get in.
Let's have some coffee.
Let's have some coffee. Yeah.
So this whole Pinocchio section is so disturbing because, you have this creepy, weird, off-putting clown, and then Pinocchio singing "I Have No Chains on Me" while he's hung up in chains.
Yeah.
And it's a person in prosthetics to look like Pinocchio, which is very disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like crying and begging for help and reaching for the guests, like, please help me, please help me. It's one of those moments that, like, in a maze, if you were there, it's off-putting.
Yeah,
it's really off-putting. And it's not real.
But still.
But it makes you feel feelings.
Yeah.
And then the final room is the Underworld, where Hades appears and informs the guests that he had caught Professor Wu. Once Hades persuades the guests that the professor is guilty for what he did, he transforms into a demon and tries to hold the guest prisoner in the Underworld forever. So very similar.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But Hades releases them and restrains the professor. A dead woman will randomly jump out at guests as final scare before they exit the attraction. What the crap? He turns into a demon. That is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yep.
What the crap, Hong Kong?
That's and I know half of you is like mad that you didn't get to experience that, or we don't have anything like that here.
Yes, I'm very mad. That could exist in California Adventure very easily.
Yeah, it could. I think that they
Literally
could easily
have a big ass sign. I'm just saying, big ass sign. Esplanade. Literally Esplanade size sign. Split in half. A big green side, arrow pointing towards Disneyland. Not scary.
Yeah.
Arrow pointing California Adventure. giant red sign with flashing lights that says super duper duper scary, don't go in unless you want to get scared.
Yeah, I mean,
And then have DCA be scary.
If they can pull off things like electronica, which were inherently more adult. I mean, they didn't bar kids, from good, but it was mostly like an adult, like clubby type vibe. If they can do things like that, they can definitely do like a fun, not so scary trick or treating thing at Disneyland, and then an adults haunt type event
in DCA.
They can both live together.
And I want something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's a mix of theatrics and scares and plants.
Yeah.
Because you have the Dr. Facilier section, which is more of like a show thing. Then you have like the Monsters Inc. thing, which is more of a funny, scary thing.
Yeah.
But then you have moments with the Mad Hatter, who's absolutely unpredictable. You have moments with the March Hare, who's completely demented. There's a lot of things in that experience that are really creepy and really, really dark.
And there's so much more they can do. Like, there's so many other IPs and things that they
Mr. Boogedy.
do.
Mr. Boogedy.
Never gonna
Mr.
happen.
Boogedy. Include Mr. Boogedy.
Sorry, Gabe. Never gonna happen.
Why?
No one knows who he is but you.
but
I think
Mr.
you're
Boogedy.
literally the only kid that watched that.
Mr. Boogedy. I'm not, because my brother and sister also watch it. So
Same household doesn't. No, same household. I'm pretty sure Disney broadcasts that directly into your living room.
They might have.
Yeah, because I've never met another person who knows what that is.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm the one saying this. Twitter poll. if you've heard of Mr. Boogedy, let us know.
Also, let me know if you've heard of Susie Q, because that is my favorite.
That is so random. This is so off topic.
If you could talk about Mr. Boogedy randomly.
It's on topic.
Not every other episode that you've brought it up in.
That's a good point.
Okay, let me know if you heard of Susie Q. Email themeparkduo@gmail.com, because it is my favorite Disney Channel original movie. Pulled at my heartstrings, made me tear up. It's amazing. And it's not on Disney Plus.
Because I think they just streamed that directly to your house.
Probably.
And nobody else has seen it.
Oh my God.
How's it feel?
No, I'm saying I can relate to you, Gabe.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm coming from with this.
I don't want to feel related to.
I'm just not going to talk for us.
No, but in all sincerity, there are things that are in Disney movies, Disney attractions, and Disney history that are scary.
Yeah.
That can be included in an attraction or in an event that is terrifying.
We did a whole episode on... Was that an episode?
Yeah, we did an episode of like Disney themed mazes.
Yeah, like we made them up ourselves.
Like, I want Trinabog somewhere. I want a Trinabog meet and greet.
Yeah.
Or like a Trinabog maze or something. Or an experience with Trinabog. I don't care. Whatever it may be. So, there's so much potential when it comes to that topic. But, when it comes down to it, those were our 5 scariest Disney attractions. Hopefully everybody liked those choices. Obviously there are some what's the term I'm looking for, runners up and stuff like that,
Oh yeah,
I actually think like Indiana Jones,
honorable mention.
I think Indiana Jones could definitely be in there,
Definitely,
because although the ride isn't like super like roller coaster thrilling, I think it is a little misleading in it, because it's like, oh, you might go to Temple of Doom, just don't look in the eyes. But then you always do.
Yeah.
And there's skeletons and fire and demons and all these things. So, yeah, it could definitely be scary. And, of course, Haunted Mansion, honorable mention there, and Pirates of the Caribbean as well. So, there's a lot of things to those attractions that are definitely
Hollywood
scary.
Limo? Star Limo?
Superstar Limo?
Yeah, Superstar Limo?
Yeah, I just don't want to see Drew Carey with maps ever again. I'm scarred for life. So just don't hold up maps.
That was an unintentional scary. Like, that's what I'm, when I was talking about that at the beginning. Like...
don't forget to get to the party. Kiss, kiss, mwah, mwah.
It's not scary, it's just creepy. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Hopefully you really enjoyed hearing our top 5 list of the 5 scariest Disney attractions that we could find.
Yeah.
So, as always, everybody, if you enjoy the show, make sure you leave us a 5-star written review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. It is a free way to support the show, and it helps us lift us up higher in the standings. It makes it easier for everyone to find us and enjoy us like you are right now. Which we've actually gotten a few like non-5-star reviews, so we're up to 89 reviews, and we're 5-star again. So we were at 4.5 for a while because people got mad at us for doing Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yeah.
So we got a few negative reviews, which kind of sucks.
It's okay.
But it's fine. We're back to 5. and I'm happy about that. And we've had some really, really nice reviews, so it makes me really, really, really happy. So yeah, make sure you get on over to iTunes and leave us that 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media. You can find us at Theme Park Duo on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you want to reach out to us, if you want to let Nikki know about Suzuki or whatever,
themeparkduo@gmail.com.
Yes. And thank you again, everybody, so very much. Oh, one last thing I do want to talk about right before we leave. Sorry, literally last moment. I almost forgot.
Okay.
I was actually a guest on a podcast recently called Something Inappropriate. Had a really good time talking about horror and all things of that nature because I worked in horror for a good period of time. Super into horror, things like that. Really enjoyed my time on the show. So make sure to look up Something Inappropriate on iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
So thank you again, everybody, for listening to this week's episode. And always remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya.
Thanks for riding with the Theme Park Duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.